There we go.
Yeah.
There
Hey,
we go.
David.
Hey, Josh. Hey, Zane. How are you? Zane,
Hey, man.
mustache. Fantastic. Looks amazing.
Oh,
Love it. I didn't realize we were dressing up as each other for Halloween. I think it's still Halloween time, so this works.
extended Halloween weekend.
I love it. Hey everyone, it's David Stark from Watch Your Pass, and I'm talking to Zane Holtz and Josh Caras about Love Bomb, which is coming to digital and on demand on November 8th, 2024. I'm going to talk to them right now, and while you're watching, if you can like and subscribe to this channel, that would be fantastic. I'll spend a lot. Thank you. What's going on camera? Let me try this again. It was working a second ago, I swear.
It's okay.
Thanks so much for joining me today. I've got Zane Holtz and Josh Caras talking about Love Bomb, which is coming to digital on demand on November 8th, 2024. It is a thriller that has a very interesting app, and the scenarios that come up because of it. It has a fantastic cast, a wonderful setting, and some tension and twists along the way. I am very excited to talk to both of you, although I will admit, Josh, I'm excited to talk to you because I loved you in Paint that I saw years ago, and I was so excited to talk to you for this movie because I adore that film. So I'm very excited
Oh,
to talk
thank
to both of
you.
you, though.
I really appreciate that.
Of course. And Zane, I'm excited to talk to you as well. But
Yeah,
yeah.
cool, cool, bro.
I got lots of attention already.
Hey.
So, first question is for both of you. Either of you can pop in. How did you get involved in this? Did you download some app? Is this all just like a reality movie that they just filmed while you were just kind of like role playing? Is this all part of this like a big con?
It's all real. The Love Bomb app drops on Friday as well, so make sure that all your listeners download that to their phones and get on the service.
That's
No,
Sounds
uh,
good.
the Love
really.
Bomb app will drop before we know what happens in the election. So we'll see.
Um, it came around in like a pretty normal way. I had a somewhat of a working relationship with the director from his work as a casting director. So David uh, had me audition for a bunch of things over the years, and we were friendly through that. And then I was also familiar with the writing of Kathy Charles. I had read a couple of her other scripts and was kind of like loosely attached to try and do one at one point that eventually kind of fell apart. But David called me and he was like, "Hey, I've got this part for you in one of Kathy's scripts. I think you'd be great in it, and come out to Jersey and let's make the movie." And I got on a plane and that was it.
That's awesome. Josh, similar or
Yeah, similar. I've known David since we were in college. He went to the School of Visual Arts here in New York. And I was friends with this group of friends of director students there, and I was the only actor that they knew, so they all put me in their little student films. So I'd known him for years. And he sent me an email with the script and asked me if I wanted to do it. And I read it immediately and called him as soon as I was done with it and said yes, because the script's awesome.
that's awesome. So I'm curious, like, what about the script spoke to you? I mean, I guess the bigger question is like, who hurt you, and where did that pain come from? Because these are some interesting roles you're playing.
I mean, man, I don't know what is wrong with me that I gravitate to just the most humiliating parts possible. But it's I really do like for whatever reason. Even the movie I wrote is just still like he's just such a fucked up person. But no, for me it was the plot. In the dialogue too, but the plot is so fun. I love movies that uh something happens and it's you're like all of a sudden watching a different movie than you thought you were, and that happens like six times in this movie. So that for me was just like super exciting, and fun. So that for me was the big draw.
Yeah, for sure. Zane, what about you? Who hurt you in the past, and what made you want to like take on this role?
And I don't even know if that's like, so again, I've been acting for a while and I don't even know if it's like you're drawn to a certain type of role, right? I don't even know if that's a thing. I think that when the actor meets the material and it works, that's something that you really don't have any control over. It's not like I'm going out of my way to play villains or I'm going out of my way to play love interests or whatever. It's just like when there's that perfect gel between the writing and your voice and it works, you end up getting selected to play the part. So it's kind of like some of it is not some of it, most of it is out of our control. But yeah, for whatever reason, I seem to be kind of good at playing darker darker roles, and I'm fine with that.
Like I'm kind of good at playing the like strong, dark, the manly man. So I guess it's just my cross to bear, I guess,
I'm the self-pitying nebbish. So
You know what? You're both working, you're both eating, so just go with what works. I did love how like I did love your characters. It must have been fun to like play, very different characters. I love Zane, how you were kind of like a bumbling actor that must have been fun to play. And Josh, I love how you played someone that like can't get dates. I imagine you probably could get dates, so it was fun to like pick out different things. And then did you do anything to prepare for these characters at all, or did you just not have time because of it seems like the filming schedule was pretty quick?
I mean, nothing beyond like there wasn't like I wasn't like preparing an accent like or like that kind of
Yeah.
thing. Just like I always do like script work. I just read the hell out of the script and just sort of like break down the scenes of like what's happening at a given time, and particularly something that like um twists and turns so much. Just like having the script like down pat in your head as much as possible, so that like when you're doing a scene, you're not like, wait, where was I? What was I coming from? If you just kind of like know that better, and so I usually like read the hell out of it before we start, and then as much as it's possible, like the night when the little bit of time we had at night, just going over what was at whatever was for the next day, and just prepping as much as possible, just knowing the scenes really well.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. I try and be so locked in with the text that when it comes time to actually get up and do it, I'm like confident and comfortable enough in the words that I can just
Yeah.
try shit and see what works and see what makes sense across the other actor's performance and have that like look, dude, I could sit there the night before and come up with this like amazing take on the scene. But if I'm in the scene on the day trying to make that happen, it's gonna be shit. So I have to be comfortable enough that like I know the words, I know what it is, but like you got to remember we get even on an indie movie, we still get like four or five takes or runs at the material on the day when it's on its feet. So if I feel like I'm in a position where I can just be comfortable enough to be loose and like run with it and go, that's where I feel like my sweet spot is.
Oh, that's perfect. And Josh, I think you mentioned that this house is in New Jersey. Like, what was it like in this location? And did they have all the necessary rooms that we saw? Because there were some very interesting rooms in this movie. I'm not sure if you just found a place that happened to have a dungeon, or if they created that for
No,
the
so
film.
everything's the dungeon was a set, but everything else was in this one location. And it's not. I don't think it's as big as it feels like it is in the movie. I mean, it was a tight space to shoot in.
Yeah, like sorry, go ahead.
No, no, no. That's all I got.
No, like it's a small indie movie, so like the rooms that are not being shot at the time is where like the kitchen is set up for the
That's
crew.
awesome.
Or like
That's awesome.
when the three of us are on our downtime, we're in one of the other living rooms that we're not actually using at the moment. So like, yeah, it
What's,
definitely it felt tighter on the day, but it looks big in the film. And the one room that you're talking about, the 50 Shades room. That is in the city, and that was probably like our craziest day. We had to take two runs at doing that scene because the first time we were there, the ceiling exploded like 3 stories above us, and it was
Oh, wow.
raining through like I don't know, it was a pipe burst or something, right? And it felt like the movie wasn't meant to happen. Like water was just pouring through the ceiling, getting on the hard drives, getting on the wardrobe, ruined the set. We were only like halfway through shooting the movie, and we called it. Like that was it. We all went home, and it was kind of unclear. I feel like it ran into a weekend or something too. So like we had a couple of days like of not knowing if the film was completely screwed or not. But we made it through, and they came back, and we went to that exact same studio, to that exact same location. They built the set again, and we shot it. Man, I feel like we shot this film November 2022, and we came back and finished it like right before the strike, March 23 or
Oh,
something.
it was.
Oh,
I
wow.
know it was March because it was right before my daughters were born.
Yeah.
So, it was March of 2023. That's crazy. It was that far actually. And
That's
we had
crazy.
like several calamitous things happen.
Oh yes,
We
that
made
room,
it
the
out.
room you're talking about only exists in the film. Now it is probably they're probably using it to shoot a shampoo commercial or something. I don't know.
The sexiest shampoo you've ever seen. It seems like I like. My thought was he had to go do a couple takes because Josh just loved it so much. He's like, we gotta do it again. We gotta just. Sometimes things awaken in you, and this was just one of those days.
Let me tell you, nothing awoke in me. That was
One thing I was curious about, there were a lot of props in that room. Do you happen to know where those came from? Was that
I think our
They're all rentals.
our
you hopefully,
And the
hopefully they're
chair?
all disinfected.
No, I swear they were all rentals, and the thing that he's on is also a rental. And I wasn't carrying, but I recall like we were standing out in the street. It's in Chelsea or something, and when they were wrapped for the day, a couple of the crew members literally had to carry that thing out onto the sidewalk, and they definitely got some odd looks.
yeah. I mean, as a New Yorker, I mean, people don't blink it. You know, they
Yeah,
don't.
only in New York, right? People are just like, oh, okay, whatever. I gotta keep going. I also really love the scene, Josh, where your character tries to break a window, the chair rebounds off. What was that movie magic? Like, how did you feel? Because
Well,
it looked good.
the art department built a replica of the chair that was in the space out of I think styrofoam, and then covered it with like fake wood vinyl. But it worked great. But we literally had one take. We had one of them.
Oh
So like
wow.
if that didn't work, you know, the gag just didn't work. So thankfully, like we did it in one take, but it was a little nerve-wracking, you know.
I can imagine being very scary. Yeah, because if it gets bent or broken or doesn't look right, then yeah,
Or
you're
like
done.
or the camera or Sam, the DP, knocks the camera, and whatever, million things can happen. But it worked out. So
Perfect. It seems like yeah, a lot of things happened during this, but it all worked out, and the film is coming out now. I know we have a
yeah,
limited time. I'm gonna switch to a lightning round. There's just lightweight questions about the film. I want to see how your personal experiences map to things in the movie. Given the subject matter, you are free to skip any of these. I will not be offended, but I try to keep them very answerable and fun. So,
okay,
first question. We'll start light. Have you ever used online dating apps?
No.
no,
Okay, very smart. Stay away. Stay away. Apparently, it's a wasteland. Um, Zane, your character went through a couple different liquors during this film. What is your drink of choice?
Bourbon, IPAs, red wine, vodka.
I see why you always play the dark strong man. That's a great list. Josh?
bourbon for
Yeah,
sure.
perfect. Very good. Both alpha males. I love it. At one point in this movie, there was a wall of weapons, and I think there was like a rifle, there's a crossbow, probably a couple other things. If you had to pick one, what would your weapon of choice be?
Just these guns.
Just freedom and justice right there.
Crossbows are awesome.
Yeah, and very quiet, right? So you don't give yourself away.
Exactly.
There was also a scene where a drill was used, and there was a very interesting drill attachment. What is the strangest drill attachment or power tool that you have?
That I have?
Yeah.
Probably like just like a odd router bit that I don't really need or have to use, but just have it.
Yeah, geez,
I got some weird tools. Nothing like really crazy,
Yeah,
but
nothing like that. Well, I mean, hey, look, no shaming, right? If you have
no
it, whatever.
drill dough. No drill dough.
No drill down.
Yeah.
I
Um,
don't. Yeah, I don't know if I have any weird tools. Pretty standard tools.
yet, yeah, there's always
Yeah,
time, right?
that's
It's
that's,
always
that's
time
a,
to explore.
I'd
absolutely.
like to get a lathe.
My dad's a big lather.
Yeah,
Some
I'd like to
tips.
make some bowls.
My man could make some bowls, some pens, all
Yeah.
kinds
All
of
very useful in our coming apocalypse that's going to happen at some point. So get those skills now. Um, you can feel free to skip. This film also deals with kinks. Do you have a kink? And you don't have to say what. You can just say yes or no, or you can skip.
I don't think so.
Uh,
All right. Both.
yeah.
You get it all out when you're playing these characters, right? Like you don't need it. You get it out when you're playing these characters. And the last question, I assume the answer is no, but I don't know. I don't know what your places are like. Do you have a sex dungeon?
Nope. Nope. No sex dungeons. Sorry.
No.
I
Okay.
disappointed. You're boring.
Hey, look, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know where this was filmed. And I know now, but I didn't know then. So, I don't know what your personal life is like. I don't know how you got into these roles, but you can see a prop sex dungeon that almost didn't happen, and all the other twists and turns in Love Bomb coming to digital and on demand November 8th, 2024. This is Zane Holtz and Josh Caras. Thank you so much for your time.
Thanks so much, man. Nice to meet you.
Thank you. Pleasure to meet you too. That was Zane Holtz and Josh Caras talking about Love Bomb, which is coming to digital and on demand November 8th, 2024. It is a tense thriller that deals with an interesting online dating app and some of the scenarios that come up because of it. It has a great cast, a wonderful setting, and some good tension. If you like this interview, please like and subscribe to this channel. It helps me a lot. Make sure all my new content goes straight to you. Thank you.